Hey everyone, before we get into today's game, I just want to remind everyone that we're doing a Q&A giveaway over the next few weeks leading up to episode 100. The announcement is up on the podcast feed and over on our YouTube channel if you want the specifics, but in essence, any question you ask on our YouTube videos between now and episode 100 will be answered on a special Q&A episode, and you'll be eligible to win a Lancer Core rulebook. We hope to hear from you. Now, back to the game. Welcome to CCRPG, where we open up our virtual table and play games with some good friends. I'm Bob, and I'll be running Lancer, an RPG by Miguel Lopez and Tom Parkinson-Morgan. You can find it on itch.io. Last session, the Murder of Crows, or the DBC Crew, successfully came out the other side of Contest with a Rebirth Project contract. With the first half of what they came here to do accomplished, surely the rest should be a breeze. There are a few minor complications. We saw Steve go through a pretty harrowing experience. Thrown into jail with other known troublemakers, his mandate was to integrate, build trust, and report back, and very little in the way of leniency was available. Back at the DBC, a transponder was found within Astro's mech, and that raised alarm bells as the crew tried to puzzle out the hows and whos of the situation. With the heat from the attempted frame job still drawing unwanted attention, and Steve separated from the rest of the crew, a few weeks of laying low and doing the job on the face of their contract was in their best interest. And that is right where we're going to pick back up with you all. It has been a few weeks. All of you are in the cockpits of your mechs. Those of you who didn't go to jail. Sorry, Steve. We'll be picking back up with you in a little bit. But Astro, Evelene, and Dyne.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's us.
I'm fuzzy.
We're the ones.
The three of you, each one of you is loaded into your cockpits, running on just the faintest power that you can run to just keep your cockpits going. All of you are running dark right now. Looking outside the view screens of your mechs, each of you sees just boxes of cargo in a dark, confined area. It's quiet. You just hear the hum of an engine. And for minutes, for hours, you're alone with the quiet. Until, eventually, a transmission comes through. This is going to Astro. This is Pal 1 to Big Bird. Please come in.
Big Bird here.
Looks like Op 4's taking the bait. We have bogeys. They're dropping out of the ether out there.
All right, I was starting to fall asleep.
Oh, well, looks like Eyeball has visual, hostiles confirmed, and closing. Eyeballs to bug out. Pal 1 confirmed to Big Bird. Pull chocks. Launch on mark.
And Astro knows what all that lingo means.
I'm sure. Next, Evelene, you get a follow-up.
I'm awake. What's up?
Pal 2 to Bluebird. Pal 2 to Bluebird, please confirm.
I just rolled my eyes like, oh, yeah, no, I'm up. What's up? What's up, Pal 2?
We have confirmation. Please pull chocks, launch on mark.
You got it. Also, no idea what he's talking about.
And then Dyne, you get, this is Pal 3 to Redbird, come in.
I'll go, all right, Artemis, you completely wiped me at poker. This is Bluebird, I'm here. Or, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I'm here.
You're
You lost your color in the poker game.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Pal 3, we have visual confirmation. Pull chocks, launch on mark.
Alrighty, let's do this.
And this is where each of you loaded into a separate ship disguised as cargo in a bait convoy fleet, prepare to get jettisoned out of the back of each of your ships. This is, it's often customary in like a mech setting to see a launch sequence. Do any of you have like a confirmation or like something you say on launch to let people know you're going out?
I'm gonna like open up the channel to my teammates here, and I'll say, "All right, rise and shine, ladies and gentlemen. It's go time." And I'll start like hitting buttons, and little like switches above me. So, the screens will start lighting up. My mech will stir to life, and I'm transitioning out of like the silent running mode I was in.
As all of you slowly power up your mechs, the cargo doors on the back of the transports you're hiding in all start to open as you get ready to deploy. Let me get this page set up.
All right.
Ooh. Comments is spinning.
All right.
Whee! I'm trying to
You
zoom
all
in,
will see that there are 3 player deployment zones. One to the south from the largest ship, one to the north from the rear ship, and then one kind of in the middle. Each one of you will need to deploy from a separate ship. So amongst the 3 of you, determine what deployment zone each of you is going to take. You can deploy anywhere within the green of your deployment zone.
I'll call south.
I'll call north.
Middle. Yeah.
All right. And this was a plan that you all have come up with the help of the various logistics teams you've been working with the weirdly advanced stealth technology that the rebellious groups have been using to take out the transports. You've had to try and prove that you guys are actually worth your weight on your contract. And it was determined that you all would be part of a bait convoy where they basically only put enough cargo in these ships to leave a big opening to store a mech in each one. And you've noticed that any convoy that you have been guarding over the past few weeks did not get attacked. But any convoy you weren't guarding did seem to get attacked out of nowhere by undetectable ships. So this is kind of a sting operation you guys are running. You will see
entrapment.
You will see there are enemy deployment zones at the northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast stations of the map. You quickly get a candygram of information kind of sent from the forward scouts that were kind of monitoring from a distance the convoy you were a part of. It is an unknown amount of unknown assailants. In this, your goal is just to prevent these ships from getting destroyed. That's it. There's no turn limits. There's no special objectives. Try to keep these ships alive.
All right.
What do you say? You ready to go?
Let's do this.
All right. We are going to start off with... You will all notice that some very slapdash looking ships are coming in. You do not know how many of them there are. They keep dropping out of their undetectable state, and they just keep appearing in swarms. You will just have to fend them off until there are none left. These look like just cargo ships. They're kind of like the semi-trucks of outer space. You do not think that they are very strong in any way, but you have learned from experience from what happened to you on the defense platforms. They do seem to be carrying heavy payloads.
Okay.
So, like explosives?
Oh, yes.
Do Do these look like, at a glance, do these look similar to the ships that carpet bombed us on the platform?
Yes, these are very similar. They are just like merchant militia ships. These are like repurposed, the kinds of ships you would expect to like ferry, frozen meals from like port to port and things like that. These are not military grade ships, but you can tell that they have been heavily modified. There's a lot like on them that is like non-standard.
Okay.
You have the jump on them because they thought they were attacking an unguarded convoy. So we're going to jump right in with your team.
Ooh,
who wants to start us off?
I think I probably can. Because I could start, unless you want to go, Chuck?
No, go ahead.
Because I can start doing some lock-ons here. Let's see. So, and I can also hack some of these guys. So I think I will, let's do a lock-on on Bomber to my upper left.
All right, Northwest Bomber, you got
Northwest Bomber. And I'll do a lock on, and I'll do eject power cores. So let me bring up my character sheet and do that. That's the one that kind of like stuns them or whatever, takes them out of commission for a turn. All right, so let's roll that.
And that's a tech attack then?
It's a tech attack. Yes. So I rolled a 23.
Ooh, good starting roll.
A 23 will decimate their E-defense. COMET, as you attempt to eject the power cores out of this heavily modified like merchant militia ship, this space trucker, you will watch as the cab of the ship goes up in flames.
Oh man!
I believe you cause 1 heat every time you
I do.
tech attack
2
someone.
heat, actually.
That's enough to destroy them.
Okay.
With the amount of heat you did, you watch as their electronic systems basically go up in flames. But with that, I am going to be activating its special ability. It seems that when these are destroyed, they get to do one last action. And you watch as it's going up in flames, the cab off the back of the ship detaches from the rest of the body, opens up, and you see a gigantic missile fire out of it that looks nothing like the design of these bombers. If these things are space trucker, this thing looks like it came out of like the Alien movies, right? It is not what you're expecting. It almost looks like a giant space shuriken.
Okay. Is this something we could target or intercept?
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then in that case, I am just going to lock onto it, to the missile.
You got it.
And then I'll end my turn there, which will, since I didn't move, that'll give me a second lock on, which I will apply to the bomber in the northeast corner.
All right, another lock on for the bomber in the northeast.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if this matters, but that missile is also shredded.
That will not come into play, but good to know.
I figured it wouldn't, but
the heavily armored missile.
I mean, anything goes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird missile, so I wouldn't be too surprised. I am also the swallowtail. When it doesn't move, it becomes invisible at the end of its turn.
Very nice.
Until I move or take a reaction. All right, that's it for me.
All right. It will now transition over to their team. I am going to activate the Southwest Bomber. The Southwest Bomber is going to make a bombing run on the one that is that Orion has deployed from, the furthest south convoy. Is going to move its full speed, which is 3. And it will, as a quick action, you watch as the cab on the back of the ship folds up and launches a very similar missile to the one you just saw launched up north.
I think I'm going to use my reaction to give Orion a leadership die. And I'll say, intercept that missile. Meaning that missile that just got launched to the southwest.
Okay.
By using a reaction, I am no longer invisible.
All right, you got it, Comet. All right, that is literally all the bomber can do, and it's back to your side.
All right. Can I go?
Feel free. Go for it.
Okay. Let's see. Do I want to? Nah. Let's do this for now. I am going to move my maximum distance.
You're as fast as the space
3.
trucks.
I am. I just have a little bit more armor. Then I am going to, it's T, and we're not going to take any chances, and we're just going to fire the assault rifle with a reliable 2 and see.
What's your target?
It is the missile on the southwest one, which I have selected as the target. So
All right, excellent.
12 for 4 damage.
12 will be a hit. That will do 4 damage to the missile. It does not destroy the missile.
Okay, so it has at least 4 health. So we are going.
So did you use your leadership die for that?
I did not.
Okay, that's fine. So you still have that, and remember, you can also use it to add to your damage or reduce damage that you take.
Okay, I feel like it would be a little bit too metagamey to roll it right now. I rolled assuming the assault rifle may be able to take out the missile.
Yeah.
But I will follow up with my follow-up weapon. I can use the leadership die for accuracy, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So we will follow up with continuing the barrage. And we will fire my prototype cannon. Other sources. I rolled a 14.
All right, and what's that against?
The missile again.
All right, yeah, 14 will hit.
Looks like I take looks like 1 additional heat from overkill, or 1 heat from overkill, not additional heat. So.
And how much damage do you deal?
I deal 7 energy damage.
As you hit that missile that was away, targeting your defended ship, let me just see here. It explodes and creates a burst 1 explosion. The explosion is scary. It is very strong, and you are very happy you were nowhere near it, Orion. It does completely incinerate the bomber when you destroy the missile that was adjacent to it.
Neat.
All right, those missiles mean business.
Go ahead,
Wow.
Chimera. Charge right at that missile.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be rough for anyone who doesn't have range weaponry. Oh, wait.
Is that you, Orion?
Let's see. Can I? It's too far. Yeah, that's going to be me. So.
All right. I am going to now activate the Northeast Bomber. The Northeast Bomber is going to travel its full speed, which is 3. It is going to lock on to the ship that is adjacent to Chimera. I think it is now within its sensor range. I'll just double check. Yes. Chimera, you see that the ship to the south of you has a radar ping on it as it gets locked onto. And then the bomber is going to away with a missile towards it. As you see the back cab, the back bed cab of the truck opens and unfolds, and a very alien looking missile fires out of it.
Is it the same make as all the other missiles?
Yes, these are all the same type of missile.
Okay.
And that is the bomber's turn. Chimera, you are left on your team.
Cool. I forget how this works. Do you click the button on the right to say it's your turn? Or is that when you say you've done it?
That is correct.
Okay, cool. I think I pressed it.
It did not activate. I will press it for you.
Thank you.
There we go.
I think I already know the answer to this, but do I have any indication what kind of missile this is? Is it tracking or is it just straight shot?
You would need to scan it as one of your actions.
Okay, how does scanning work? I've never actually done that. Is that just like a tech roll or?
Scan is, I think, just happens.
Let
me just.
Yeah, I mean, I'll scan the one to the east.
Is it within? Is it within sensor range of you?
What is my sensor range? My sensor range is 5. Probably not. I'm fine with moving 5 to get in range though. Wow, it's been a while since I've used ComCon, isn't it? I'll do my move action toward the missile to the right so I can go within scanning range. So that'll be one.
I am just pulling up scan right now because we don't use it that often.
Yeah, now I'm within scanner range.
I believe it is one of the default quick techs. Is that right? Todd, you're the one who knows.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's like...
Do you have its rules pulled up already, or?
I do. So to scan, choose a character or object within sensors and line of sight, then ask the GM for one of the pieces of information which they must answer honestly. So you could either ask for the target's weapons, systems, full statistics, or you can ask for one piece of hidden information about the target, such as confidential cargo or data, current mission, the identity of the pilot, and so on. Or you can ask about generic or public information about the target that can be pulled from an info bank or record, such as the model number of a mech. So I kind of feel like what you're asking for, Chuck, is the second thing, one piece of hidden information.
I'd say so, yeah.
I don't know if you agree.
All right, yeah. So what is the thing you're trying to find out about it? Can you word that again for me, Chimera?
I'm trying to identify if the missile is seeking or if it's just like point and shoot.
Okay, yeah, I can absolutely tell you that. So you would know that this missile is it says Once it is locked on a target, it moves towards its target, maneuvering around cover and terrain if needed. So from what you can tell, it is kind of a homing missile. But I will give you an additional piece of info about it. It has additional rules where basically if it is fired at a target that has lock-on on it, it can move double the speed towards it. Normally it moves 3 spaces a turn. If the target has lock-on, it moves 6 spaces a turn, gains smart and seeking, and armor piercing.
It gets a lot of shit if it gets lock-on.
If it has lock-on, it has the Huntsman bonus, which is against characters with lock-on, it gains smart seeking and armor piercing, but also it flies faster.
Okay. Well, my original plan was basically to grab the missile on the right and throw it at the missile at the left, but it won't work if it's seeking. So
yeah, it is been fired at that ship. That is its target when that was selected on firing.
Okay.
I like the idea though.
Well, I got a plan B. My plan B is to throw the missile at the bomber.
Don't you run into the same problem though?
There's actually effects if I use Ferris Lash and throw it into another object. There actually is repercussions for that.
Oh, okay.
He's not choosing its path. He's just forcing it into a different direction. It can reset itself if it survives.
Yeah, it gets knocked prone if it gets knocked prone if it collides into something else.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Space prone.
Yeah. I would think that
I'll call it off balance.
It gets knocked into 2-dimensional space instead of 3-dimensional space.
So
listen, if we went by our normal rules for prone, mechs could never be prone because vehicles can't be prone.
That's right.
But we make an exception for Lancer.
Yeah, I think I'd like to basically Ferris Lash the missile into the bomber.
All right, how do you do so?
I just shoot my grapple hook onto the bomber, and then it pulls out his grapple hook and pulls the missile to it.
All right, yeah, there's a check for that, though. Tell me the rules for what you're doing.
I know, that was me bluffing as I'm trying to remember what the rules are. Gosh, it's been a while.
And it just works, right?
I think it's an agility save, isn't it?
It is agility save. So,
so who is your target for the Ferris Lash?
I'm targeting the bomber because I feel like it probably has lower agility than the missile.
It is. It is a shitty ship.
Yeah.
That is true.
So actually, technically, I'm pulling the bomber into the missile, not missile into the bomber.
Oh,
that makes sense?
You're using your thing to grab the bomber and actually throw it into the missile.
Yes.
They must succeed on an agility save. So it fires the missile and you try to drag it into it. Let's roll that agility save. What's your save target?
14.
Chutzpah. Nope. Rolls an average 10. So you pull the bomber into the missile, Chimera, and the missile has a piece of rules text that says, when it collides with a character or reaches its target, it explodes. So you insta-killed the missile with that.
Yeah.
You watch as a burst 1 explosion takes out the missile and bomber, and Chimera, being this close to that explosion, the amount of damage it does is dangerous, is what I will tell you.
Close call, Chimera.
Yeah, I'll pass this information along. I'll pass this information along to everyone else so they know. And
Dyne will just say, "No shit."
Yeah, I saw the explosion, buddy.
Well, no. I meant the movement patterns, not the explosion. I think we all can figure out the explosion.
Sure.
Okay,
all right,
that's me.
All right, and then I will activate the bomber that hasn't gone yet, the southeast bomber. It is going to move 3 towards the various ships. It is, think. Yes, it is within sensor range. Is going to lock on to the ship next to you, Orion. And it is going to launch its missile. There. All right. And that is the end of that round. At the beginning of round 2, four more bombers drop out of advanced stealth surrounding the ships.
Do the ships move at all during this period?
No, the amount they would move is slow enough that we're going to treat this like a static battle map.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. They acted last, which means the three of you get to go first.
Okay. What do you want to do, Todd? Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Just putting it out there, I could also go and take out the other missile. Oh, we have multiple missiles at play, I guess, huh? Never mind.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you want,
sure
want to, go ahead. I won't stop you.
we haven't seen how fast these missiles move, so I was slightly concerned. But the way I was viewing the map, I forgot about the one at the bottom. So I guess taking out one would be good.
Yeah,
We got one at the bottom, one at the top.
I kind of want one of you to go first. Maybe take out one of the missiles.
Okay.
Or what?
Is it all right if I go again?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm just doing
Chimera.
the measurements to make sure I got this right. So, okay.
But you know what? So I'm not metagaming here. I'm going to use my reaction and give you a leadership die, and I'm going to say, focus on the missiles before the bombers.
Yeah, I got it. Chimera is going to move and boost to the other side of the ship, and basically repeat that trick, moving the bomber on the northwest and throw it into the missile next to it.
Now, this is a newly spawned bomber.
Correct.
All right. It needs to roll an agility save as you lash your Ferris lash to it and attempt to steer it into the incoming missile. Your target's what, 14?
Yeah. Did my token move?
Yes.
Okay.
You're on the left.
I get this weird after image on my screen.
Yeah, it should show you where you moved from.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the Ferris Lash is not able to grip hold of the bomber, and the bomber remains unmoved.
I guess the leadership die would not help with this, would it?
No,
too
it
late,
doesn't
I
work.
guess.
No, it does
for-
not. It does not change your save target.
Okay, then I've exhausted everything I can do, unfortunately, because I moved boost and Ferris Slash, so that's moving. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to try that again by
Everyone has overcharge.
overcharge. Yeah, I'm going to overcharge once and try that again. Or rather, you're going to re-roll that dice.
Right, you're gonna Ferris Lash it a second time.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, you lash onto it, you try to pull, but the lash breaks at the last second. You lash out a second time, you pull again, and it is not able to steer against it. You are able to pull it successfully into that outbound missile, and you watch as it collides with the missile in flight. Just a bloom of a gigantic explosion. The bomber, as it's destroyed, does get to activate one last thing. It is going to fire its missile to get out ahead of it before it gets eaten up by the explosion. So it is going to deploy its missile here from before when it moved.
Okay.
And then, bam, that bomber and missile are gone. So new missile to contend with, but old missile gone.
I was half hoping the new missile would get destroyed as part of the explosion, but I'll take what I can get.
All right. Anything else, Chimera?
Nope, that's me.
All right. Let's pop over to the other team. I am going to activate the Southeast missile. It was going to fly towards its locked-on target. It gets to go double speed because of lock-on. It moves 6 towards the ship.
That's getting awfully close.
All right, it's y'all's turn.
You want to go?
Yeah, actually, I guess I can go since that missile just went. So we at least have time. Yeah, I'll go. Let's see. I think I'm going to try to hack the northwest missile.
You will attempt
possible?
to hack the Northwest missile.
Let's
what
find
are
out,
you
I
targeting
guess.
with? It technically has an E defense, but there are certain things that don't affect it, and you don't know that yet, so it'll depend on what you're doing.
Okay, so let me just think about this. What about just fragment signal? Yeah, fragment signal. I think this might work. You feed false information, obscene messages, or phantom signals to the target's computing core. They become impaired and slowed until the end of their next turn. It's a homing missile, so it has to have some sort of computing chip
no,
on
that
it.
absolutely works. It becomes impaired and slowed.
All right. Well,
if you hit its E defense,
right,
that is.
Right. Yeah. We won't get ahead of ourselves. Let me roll my tech attack. And I rolled a 13.
Yeah, Astro, you get into the missile, you are able to find its targeting computer, and you are able to start scrambling it. It does not stop it completely, but you said, what are the two adjectives it gets? Slowed
It slowed and impaired.
Slowed and impaired.
And if it can take heat, it takes 2 heat.
It takes 2 damage.
Okay, I'll take it.
These missiles do not have systems that build heat. If you can do enough heat to it, those will count as damage.
Great, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then for my second quick action, I'm just going to put lock on the missile directly south to me. That's honing in on the spaceship by Orion.
All right. So based on, I will say, their call signs from which one released each of you, the one next to you, Comet, is PAL 1. The middle one is PAL 1. The one by CHIMERA up at the north there is PAL 2. And the one at the bottom by Orion is PAL 3.
All right. So, yeah, I will put lock on the missile that's honing in on PAL 3.
It is locked on.
That. And then I didn't move, so I get one more lock on. Let's put lock on the bomber that is to my northeast.
Yeah, absolutely. You lock on.
All right. I go invisible. That is my turn.
You got it. I am going to activate the bomber to the southwest. It is going to move 3 towards its target, PAL 3. It is going to lock on to PAL 3. And it is going to fire its missile.
Neat.
By the way, any of them that have fired their missile but are still alive, I'm putting the little tier 1 symbol on them to keep track of which ones have already fired their missile.
Okay.
It appears that each of them only have one of these super destructive missiles on them.
Only one
Thank
payload,
goodness.
essentially.
Yeah. Actually, I will say that CHIMERA has learned this from scanning it. These are called hound missiles.
Oh, goody.
All right. I believe that leaves you, Orion. You got 2 missiles incoming on PAL 3.
Yep, I'm... All right, well, I don't really have much of a choice in this. So we are going to start the turn by activating my Asura class NHP, which hits me for 3 heat, but grants me either 2 additional quick actions or 1 full action. So I
Very
essentially
nice.
get I take 3 heat, but I get
As all the AI on your mech start multitasking out the wazoo.
Yeah. All right. So we are. Let's see. Where do I want to start? You know what? One of them has lock on, so we're going to start with the missile that is to the east. And we are going.
Now, I will state the ship you got deployed from, Orion, was the largest of the 3 ships. Does count as an obstruction from where you're standing right now.
Okay.
The missile is not adjacent to it, so it counts as soft cover. You can fire past the ship, but the missile will get bonuses because you have to move and maneuver in such a way that you're just firing past the bow of the ship to not hit the ship, but to hit the missile.
So when I fire, a cannon and I move, can I, instead of moving, like a cardinal direction, can I move up to try and get myself over the ship?
I will allow you to convert that into... Yes.
Vertical movement.
We will say that if you use your movement in that way, you will not be able to move from your current space, but I will not give the cover bonus to the missile.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to fire a cannon, and as part of my talent from Siege Specialist, I will move vertically to try and get myself over the ship.
You got it.
All right. So since I have to fire a cannon, we're going to fire the big one. Consume lock on. Rolled an 8.
An 8. An 8 isn't gonna cut it. The missile is too fast and too small. Your cannon goes wide of your target.
So I gain 3 heat. That puts me at 7 out of 10. All right, so we're going to follow that up with the assault rifle for a purpose. I crit.
Nice.
I dealt 6
very
damage.
Nice. 6 damage is a fair amount of damage, but does not destroy the missile.
But it does. You see, I am now in the danger zone, which means it takes 2 heat and an additional 1d6 energy damage for the first attack that lands while I'm in the danger zone each turn.
Okay, so 2 heat which will convert to damage.
And an additional 1 damage.
So that's only 3.
So 9.
So
3 is not enough to destroy the missile.
So it'll be a total of what, 9 damage?
You have done 9 damage to it.
Okay.
It does not look good. The missile is barely holding itself together as it rockets towards its target.
I'm guessing they have 10 HP.
Well, it's a good thing I have 4 actions this round. Well, I can continue my assault because thanks to my NHP is going crazy. So we're going to try and nuke this one. So we're going to fire the prototype weapon and see how well that goes. I crit again.
Oh, boy.
With this, your prototype weapon blasts the missile out of the air. You watch as in a burst one around from where that missile was, just a bloom of fire and explosion that is quickly snuffed out by the void and vacuum of space, but you do not want to see what that would have done to an object.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? All right. Well, we're going to target the second missile down there, and we're going to continue the assault. I've got one more shot, and then maybe if I need to, I'll use an overcharge. Because, just why not?
Do you still have Astro's dice?
I think you used it in the last time.
I used it last round.
Okay, cool.
Actually, did CHIMERA use the dice? Because
CHIMERA
Astro...
I have not used the dice, and I actually need to add the icon to my thing to say I have a dice.
Because Astro just said he was generic. He just said destroy the missiles. He didn't give a command to a specific person. I don't think. I mean, I don't know.
I thought
let me read the roles of.
Because otherwise, you can
when
just
he
give it
gives
to
a
CHIMERA.
command, he has to give it to a person.
Okay, so he gave it to CHIMERA.
Yeah, I think to as a
Well, he gave
I
one
gave
to
it
you
to
too.
Kamala.
I think he gave each of you one.
Yeah,
I did.
He did
and
two
you
leadership
used,
things.
I gave 2 leadership dice, one to Orion, one to CHIMERA, and Orion used theirs.
Okay, cool beans.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna fire my last shot at the other missile, and let's see. I'm at 7. All right. We'll follow the prototype weapon one more time. 19.
A 19 will definitely hit for 8 damage.
All right. So I'm gonna overcharge for 1 heat.
All right.
Oh boy.
Overcharge. That puts me at 8 out of 10. And we're going to fire the assault rifle for reliable 2. The assault rifle missed, but reliable 2. We'll see if it has exactly 10
right.
HP.
And with reliable 2, you're just able to put exactly enough bullets on target that you must have triggered the detonation for the missile, the detonation threshold, and you watch as a blooming explosion takes out the missile and the bomber that was still adjacent to it.
All right, guys, I got 5 attacks off this round. I think that's about all I can do.
You got 5 attacks off and destroyed 2 very dangerous missiles.
Great job.
That were both fired with lock-on, which meant they were the more dangerous version of the missile, too.
All right. That's all I got.
You got it. All right. Northeast bomber. It is going to travel 3 towards its chosen target. It is going to lock on to the ship adjacent to COMET. So it is going to lock on to PAL 1. And it will fire not another bomber. I need it to fire a missile. Missile.
It's like a Russian nesting bomber.
Yeah, it's a nesting ship. It'll deploy to that space adjacent to it. Moved. Locked on, fired missile. All right, now let's just exhaust out the other ships that are going. This bomber is going to go, that has already fired its Hound missile. It is going to move 3 closer. And it is one of the ones that locked onto the ship. It is going to fire its missile pods at PAL 3. It will hit PAL 3, doing 4 smart-seeking auto armor-piercing damage. So, Orion, it seems like even the ships that have fired their Hound missile do still have missile pods. As you see the bed of the truck kind of open up with wings, and you see like little missile pod racks just start firing off like much smaller missiles off of those racks.
Okay.
So that is 4 damage to PAL 3. And then the new Southeast bomber is going to move 3 towards its chosen target. It will lock on to PAL 3, and it will fire its Hound missile. All right. It is the end of round 2. At the beginning of round 3, out of Advanced Cloak, 4 more bombers appear.
Oh boy.
Here we go again.
All right. I think I have some ideas.
Man, sucks to be you guys right now. That's all I have to say.
It'd be really useful if you had
looking
like
not so bad.
if you had like one really fast guy who could just do like 1 or 2 damage to a lot of them really quickly. It'd be really useful right now.
Or like someone who could put up like a shield or a wall or something that you take damage if you try to walk through.
That would be
that would
pretty
be nice
sweet.
too.
I could see how that would be useful.
We should get someone on our crew that can do that sometime.
But I am going to first of all, let me mark the ones that have fired their missiles so I remember which ones don't have missiles anymore.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, I'm going to win because I win. That's how we play this game. That's just what this all amounted into.
All right. It is back to the murder of crows.
All right.
Todd, do you want to do your special thing or
I'll do my special thing, my special little move. Yeah, I'll activate.
All right, COMET.
All right. So the missile that is to my northeast, I am going to invade it, and I'm going to try to use puppet system, which will allow me to move the target its maximum speed in a direction of my choice. So let's roll the tech attack first and see how that goes. I rolled an 18.
An 18 definitely hits.
All right, and let me just put this description in here if you want to see if this makes sense to use on the whatchamacallit, the missile. Actually, I should have done this in the first place. But here it is. Your target moves its maximum speed in the direction of your choice. They can be moved into hazardous areas or other obstacles, but are still affected by difficult terrain obstructions.
That's literally just a hard counter to what this thing is doing. You may move it where you wish, but I will say it can only move 6 towards the thing that it got locked onto. If you move it anywhere else, the maximum speed you can move it is 3. So you can move that missile 3 in any direction.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, I wanted it to hit the bomber that just uncloaked, but I don't think it'll reach it. So I'll just
for the other
you can
bomber.
turn it around and launch it right back into the ship that fired it, though.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, the missile will auto detonate. That just satisfies the rules for the missile. It spins around in midair. You are puppeting it right back into the bay that launched it, and you watch as the bomber, merchant militia, goes up in a horrifying fiery explosion.
Nice. And that's a burst 1 explosion?
That's a burst 1. That's correct.
Okay. Good to know. And then what I will do next is I am going to lock on the missile down to the right of PAL 3.
Okay.
Yep, that one.
What's your distance
20.
for... Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have a huge sensor range.
This guy talking about his huge sensor.
Bragging about my huge sensor. And then I'm going to overcharge because I want to do the same thing that I just did. So let me see. Yeah, my heat should be at 0 because we've gone through a full repair. I just gotta.
You can just click the overcharge button on your thing. It'll automatically give you one and up it by 1 if you want.
Yes. I was looking for that button actually. Okay, so it just brings me up to 1 heat, 1 out of 5, and let's do that invade again. And this time I'm going to use the lock on.
All right, you're going to use the lock on the invade on the southeasternmost missile.
Yes. And let me roll that up. I forgot to add the accuracy.
You said you were using it. Just roll a 1d6 and we'll add
1d6. So yeah, I rolled a 7, but without this. So let's roll the 1d6. 1d6. Oh, ouch.
That
1.
is unfortunate.
Wow. That's very unfortunate.
An 8 is not enough to puppet this missile. You are not able to break the lock it has on PAL 3.
All right. Well, what can you do?
It was a good run.
I can put another lock on since I haven't moved. So I will. Actually, I don't know if I can do that with overcharging, if that complicates things.
You can move after overcharging.
Okay, so and once per round, at the end of its turn, this oh no, I'm looking for a spotter. At the end of your turn, if you did not move and took the lock on, you may lock on once as a free action. Yeah, so I'm still good to do that. Is a missile to the northwest by Chimera? Is that locked on?
That's the one that's slowed and impaired.
Okay. Well, it's also going to get locked on.
Okay.
All right.
Slowed is what? Half speed?
I think so. I should probably look that up.
Statuses and conditions. I have statuses and conditions right here. Slowed. Oh, actually, this is fine. Can make its standard move, but they cannot boost, and any special moves granted by talent systems or weapons do not affect. The way I will roll that is it was locked on to that northernmost ship. It will not be granted the additional movement that it should get from that. It will only get its base movement instead.
Okay, well, that's still good.
Yeah, it says the only movement slowed characters can make is their standard movement. It was making its standard movement anyway, but since it gets a speed boost for being locked on, I will roll that what you have done by slowing it is you have taken that back away from it again.
Okay. All right, I'll end my turn there.
Which will become relevant because I'm activating it right now. It is going to move 3 towards the ship. And at the end of its turn, I think it loses the impaired and slowed. Is that correct?
I believe that's right. Yeah.
All right. Now it is just locked on. End of its turn. Orion or Chimera?
Probably me with a missile that hasn't activated yet.
Yes, hey, you should probably go first.
Okay. Let's see here. This is a weird order of operations.
I bet.
So I'm going to start my turn. Okay. I need to really zoom in there because I can't see the 3 where I can move. I am just now above the ship. So I can actually... Man, the number of things I was one space away from hitting this round was really annoying.
So you've taken your movement?
Yeah. So I've moved 3, so we're going to go into a barrage. And we're going to use my prototype cannon and fire at the northernmost southern bomber.
All right.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So we before I fire, because my prototype cannon is a cannon, I'm going to move 1 space. And then we are going to fire. It is... Ooh, I rolled a 6. That is a miss.
That is a miss. Even the bomber doesn't get hit on a 6.
Okay.
Space Trugger outsped your shot.
Cool. So we are going to follow up. Now that I am within range of the missile, we're going to follow up that barrage by refocusing some damage on that missile. And
it does have lock on it in case you need it.
Yep. So we're going to fire the assault rifle, consume that lock on. That is a miss, but it takes reliable 2.
Yes, even with the lock on, you rolled a 1 and a 3, so oof. But yeah, it will take 2 damage just from putting enough shots on target.
Okay, then we are going to overcharge. And since I started this turn in the danger zone, I have resistance to heat. So unless I roll a 3, I'll only take 1 heat. In which case I'll take 2.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
When you hit something while you're in the danger zone, shouldn't you do more damage as well?
Only if it's a hit. That was a miss, not reliable.
Oh, right. Reliable. You got it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the part that sucks. I rolled a 2, so I take 1 heat, putting me up to 9.
Wow. Yeah, you're riding the edge.
I put plus heat there. Maybe I should... There we go. That's better. All right. And then we're going to follow up and fire on that missile again with my prototype cannon. That time I hit for 7 plus 1d6, 5. So 12 plus 2 heat.
All right. And with that, the missile's trigger threshold gets breached, and you watch the missile stall out, bits of it start to pop and dent out as whatever reaction is happening internally starts to react, and a blazing explosion destroys the missile and the bomber next to it.
That's all I got.
You got it. Let's pop back over to this group here. I am going to activate this guy, actually. I'm going to activate the Northeast Bomber, who's going to move 3, lock on to the northernmost ship, PAL 2, and he's going to fire his Hound missile towards it. Chimera, you're up.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out a good way to resolve a thing that I want to try doing. And I don't think it's going to work. Okay, never mind. I was trying to figure out a way to eliminate the missile while still saving a quick action. The missile that's right in front of me. And then I'd prepare a quick action to, as soon as the bomber in the northwest shot out its missile, then I could do a reaction to Ferris slash it into its own missile. But I don't think I can do 10 damage to the missile with a single quick action, so I don't think I'm going to bother. Because skirmish only allows me to do a quick action, not a full round. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tried and true approach of throwing the bomber at the missile. Bob, if you can roll an agility roll for the bomber.
It is the northwest bomber you're targeting?
Correct.
All right, agility. A 2 will fail.
Not great.
As
it
is dragged.
The explosions are 1?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm good.
Yes, you are. As the bomber is dragged towards the missile, it will release its missile as you pull the bomber into the other one, and they both explode.
Huzzah. And, I think that's it for me. So I'm not going to move. I'm not going to... Is there a button for end turn?
No, I do it for you.
Thank you. Okay, then, unfortunately, my turns are boring because I don't have range attacks, so that's it for me.
I would not call what you are doing boring.
It's not an explosion. It's not big
throwing
explosions
a ship
like Dyne.
into a missile.
All right, Batman.
Certainly
I'm
not
boring.
I will remind you, though, Chuck, anyone can invade a target.
The southeastern bomber is going to move, lock on, and fires the missiles.
Say missile.
If anyone couldn't invade, it's probably Chimera, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would not waste. Well, I would have a spare action, but yeah.
I mean, Chimera specializes in hacking, just not the kind of hacking that you're referring to.
Nice.
Or
the southeast bomber moves, locks on, and fires a missile. And the other southeast bomber that is already down a missile is going to advance on the ship. Orion, it ignores you completely, and it stays locked on to the target, which is PAL 3, and is going to fire another round of missile pods that are smart-seeking and armor-piercing. A 21 will hit PAL 3 for another 4 armor-piercing damage.
I'm trying.
All right. At the beginning of round 4, no new bombers appear.
Wow. Okay.
Instead, the claustrosity appears.
Instead, the claustrosity that you fired off into space goes by. It doesn't join the battle. You just see it go by in the distance. Back to your side.
People say to this day the claustrosity is still flying through space.
Orion, Comet, or Chimera?
So if all the bombers at this point release their missile, is that what
all
that icon
bombers
means?
have released their missiles at this point. They all have ordnance still. Just
Right.
from experience, you know that they each only have one Hound missile.
Okay. All right. So I mean, I think either me or you, Orion, is We could probably, each potentially take out 3 missiles. At least if I overcharge, I can, maybe.
Yeah, I'm at 9 heat, so no matter what I do, my reactor's going critical.
I'll go. Let me go then.
Go for it.
And see where we're at.
I mean, 1 stress is not the end of the world.
Yeah, but let's see what's going on. So
no, 2 stresses.
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay, let me just think. So let's look at some ranges here. So that is northwest or northeast is 8 away. Southwest is 18 away. So if I potentially want to get 3 missiles, I have to actually fire my weapons, which is something I don't often do.
Maybe you could pilot the bomber into the missile instead of the missile into the bomber.
True.
Like what Chuck is doing, but
that's true. I mean, either way, both the bomber and missile are blowing up, and all the bombers have released their missiles.
Listen here, either way.
What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to actually attack with my LMG guns. Oops, I didn't mean to do that one. The missile that's heading towards PAL 3 in the northeast.
That one is heading towards PAL 2.
PAL 2.
PAL 3 is the one in the south.
PAL
2 is the one in the north, and you're at PAL 1.
That's right. So the one
do
heading
not
towards...
match up with the deployment zones.
Yeah. The one heading towards PAL 2. And so I'm going to skirmish. So I have 2 auxiliary weapons on my auxiliary mount, so I believe both of them roll. This is weird.
A 14 will hit for 1 damage.
Oh boy. Maybe I should have paid attention to...
Did you forget how little damage your weapons do?
I did forget. Yes, I absolutely forgot.
So you did 1 damage and 1 damage for a total of 2 damage.
2 damage. All right, guys, I think we're good. All right, well, that was dumb. But hey, in the heat of battle, sometimes you don't think of such things. I'm going to now try to invade that same missile. And I'll do the puppet system again. 24.
A 24 will successfully get the missile.
Okay. So that damage was absolutely useless because, succeeding this, it's going to blow up anyway. So I'll just
I assume you pilot it into the bomber?
I do. No, I helped it on its way.
You use your guns in order to distract the missile. That way you could hack it. The obvious reasons.
Exactly.
All right. That completely destroys the missile and bomber.
I'm going to do another overcharge here. So that takes me all the way up to 4 heat. And I'm going to try to hack southeast missile using puppet system. So roll that. 14.
14 will successfully puppet that missile.
All right, let's this time. It is a burst 1, right?
Yes, but it needs to collide with something to explode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have it collide with the bomber that's been firing on PAL.
It can only move 6 if it's towards the target that it was locked on to.
I mean, I would say that's the general direction.
Yeah. It would have to be like it either follows its targeting system or you're diverting it. Its actual speed is 3. It gets a +3 bonus if it's going towards its target.
Okay, so this
like the speed of the missile is 3. Like if we read your roll verbatim, its speed is 3. It has an ability that when it's moving towards its target, it gets +3 to its movement.
So it's making a straight line for its target.
When it's making a straight line for its target, it gets +3 to its movement.
And in this case, you could see that this doesn't hit the target if it.
Yeah.
It's been unfortunate.
That is correct.
Yep. I'll just
I might
turn
have
around
some
then.
leeway if it was literally directly on the line to its target, but that's not the intent of the roll.
Yeah. So I'll just turn around and hit the bomber that launched it.
That absolutely happens. It is gone.
All right. Cool. That's it for me.
All right. It is my turn. Oh boy. I'm going to activate this southern-western missile.
Ruh-roh.
And it has a locked-on target, is going to move 6 towards its target. And then its turn. Orion or Chimera?
So it's literally next to the ship.
Yes.
See, this is the kind of thing I would have prevented if I was there. I mean, just my 2 cents, but you know.
Ooh.
That does strike me as well, you know? That's big thoughts.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You got a plan?
Maybe.
I wish I could puppet system again.
All right. I do. I'm going to get a stress either way. So, yeah. Let me check one thing so I just clear on the rules. Okay, yeah, we're going to give it a go. I'll activate.
All right, Orion, it is you.
All right, I am going to move directly in front of the missile. Yes, I can do that.
Team Chutoy.
Yeah. So we are then going to fire my heavy pattern laser rifle at the missile. Now, there is a second effect to my Siege Specialist rank 2 that I rarely get to use because I'm never close enough for it to matter. And that is when its effect activates that allows me to move in any direction, any enemy or anyone within a burst 1 of me must make a hull save or be forced to move 1 space in a direction of my choosing.
This is going to be a very important hull save.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
What is your save target?
Is it 13?
13. It shares the hull agility systems and engineering of the bomber it was fired from, so I'm just going to roll one of the bomber's hull checks.
Okay.
You
said 16's the target?
13.
13, okay.
We could go with 16.
9.
9.
Okay.
Hey.
Either way.
All right,
Nice.
so it moves 1 away from the ship.
Boop.
And then I move 1 back because it's part of the action. And my weapon fires, which causes me to get 3 heat, but let's fire the weapon first before I roll stress. 18.
18 hits.
For 8 plus 3 plus 3, hold on 1 second, plus 4 and then plus 2 heat. So that's 8, 11, 14, 18, 20 damage.
All right, I'm actually going to put the burst on there just so we get to all see how close this was. Boom! As this explosion blows up just off the bow of of PAL 3.
Holy crap.
Wow. Close call, that one.
All right, I'm going to plus, hold on 1 second, plus 3 heat, so over heat, so then -1 stress, and then I'll roll for that. I rolled a 4. I am exposed.
You
What does
take
that mean
double
again?
damage until it's cleared.
However, because of my mech's passive, Mather Stop, when I clear all heat, or no, I'm sorry, when I stabilize or my heat exceeds the heat cap, I get soft cover until my next turn.
Very nice.
Meanwhile, the barrage continues.
That is correct.
So we're going to target the bomber to the east. And we are going to just... Yeah. Let's see, which one? They're about the same. So we're just going to roll the soul pattern laser rifle. I rolled a 7, so that's going to miss.
A 7 will miss the eastern bomber.
So I gain 1 heat from that. Yeah, because even though I had resistance, it doesn't really matter. 1 out of 10. Let's see. You know what? I have resistance to heat because I started in the danger zone. I'm going to overcharge.
Okay.
All right, 1d6. Let's do it.
3, half of that would be 2 rounded up. So I get plus 2
That's
heat.
correct. So that takes you to what, 5?
No, because I hit 10 I hit 10 when I fired my big gun. All right.
Right. So you should only be at like
So this will be 3. Yeah.
Yes.
So plus 2 heat. 3 out of 10. And we're gonna fire again.
Same one?
Yep, same one. Bigger gun. I rolled a 7 again.
A 7. For some reason, these trucks are so hard for you to hit.
I gain plus 2 heat because resistance, and I'm back in the danger zone.
Man, you're having
Listen, that was a pretty amazing turn. The way you just barely saved PAL 3 from the missile.
PAL 3 has taken quite a bit of damage. So, yeah, I could use some help down.
Is that you, Orion?
That's all I've got.
All right. I am going to activate the northwestern missile.
Yeah, I figured you would.
And it's going to move 3 towards its target. Chimera.
I want to propose...
What is Chimera going to do?
So, I've run out of things to throw in missiles, so I'm trying to figure this out.
Throw PAL 2 at it. Or PAL... what is it again? PAL...
I think I'm PAL 2. Yeah, I'm PAL 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Bob if I can do it, if this makes sense. And if he says no, that's fine. Can I prepare a quick action where if the missile explodes, I can do a Ferris Slash to pull it away from me?
Absolutely not.
Figured as much. Okay, then I'm gonna throw the...
I wouldn't even know what you're Ferris lashing at that point. The explosion?
The missile before it explodes. I know that it's full of crap. I will throw the next best thing I have at the missile. Myself. That's all I got left.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I mean, I got 2 shield.
All right.
I mean, I got a
Nice
lot of
knowing
HP.
you, Evelene.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Chimera Evelene just says, "Oh, this is gonna suck," and I'm going
you have no idea.
Yeah. That scares me even more. Chimera's gonna move toward the missile and pull out the drill, and then I'm gonna drill a missile because that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
I am gonna use my leadership die because I don't want to miss this. It's a D6, Todd.
Yes, a D6.
It's been a while since we've been in combat. Where's the button? Okay. Let's see. I get 1 accuracy because it's auto stabilizing. Get another one from leadership, and here we go. 20. Oh, I get overkill.
20 hits?
I got overkill on it.
That's 4 heat for you,
Yeah,
by the way.
I get 4 heat. I'm sure this missile doesn't give heat off.
No, just death.
You never know. So plus 4 heat, so I'm at 5 out of 7. It does 27 damage.
Nice. That destroys the missile.
I bet it does.
An explosion erupts around you, Chimera, as you drill through this missile.
Oh, wait.
I need you to make an agility save.
I actually could block some of this with it, but let me do the agility save first. Where is that button? Here it is. Oh, you know what? That leadership die would have been great for that. Well, it would not have counted for. It was for destroying the missile, so I just do regular roll. 14.
That is a success. You will only
nice.
take half damage. You
Half
take
of
half
2,000
of 24 energy damage.
Can I deflect because it's a ranged? Is it considered a ranged attack?
It is not a range attack. It is an explosion. It is a burst 1 explosion.
Oh, neither of these apply. Okay, I will just eat it. Sure. So it'd be 12. Armor drops down to 10.
Yeah, no armor. It was not locked onto you, so it does not have armor piercing.
You could use brace if you wanted. You would gain resistance, but you would basically only have one quick action next round.
I thought about that. I'm not, just because I don't know if this is the last. There might be something else coming. I know we haven't seen any this turn, but it could be just like a break before something else comes up. I'd rather be prepared, and 10 damage isn't the end of the world for me. So
It doesn't structure you.
Oh no, I have
Isn't it 12 damage?
12. I have armor, so it's actually 10.
Oh, right.
I have 21 HP, Todd.
Oh man, I forget.
24
how much
would
HP
just
everyone
barely be
has.
enough to structure me.
Yeah.
24 would have structured Chimera as well.
Yeah,
it would have. Yeah.
If Chimera hadn't succeeded on the agility save.
Yeah. I'll eat it.
Yeah, Chimera, the explosion erupts around you, and that's one way to get rid of a missile, I guess.
You drill it. Drill, baby, drill.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'm going to activate the 2 remaining bombers. The southeast one is going to move 3 towards its target, and is going to continue to unleash its armor-piercing missile pods. An 8 will not hit, but it fires enough missiles that's reliable, goes off, doing 2 armor-piercing damage.
So that's a total of 10 that the ship has taken?
That is correct. This is also the largest of the 3 ships, which is working to your advantage right now, Orion. The southeast bomber is going to move 3 towards the ship. It is going to fire its missile pods at the ship. A 15 does hit the ship, doing an additional 4 armor-piercing damage.
How's the ship looking?
Now, after those 2 hits, not good. Bad. Bad is the answer.
Okay.
All right. I'll go first.
At the beginning of this round, nothing happens.
Oh, thank goodness.
Cool.
That is 14 altogether. Okay. Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Orion.
See if I can actually land a hit, even though I know I just jinxed myself. All right.
I'll use my reaction to give you another leadership die. And I'm going to say, clear out the remaining bombers.
Cool. I will take advantage of that. So one of them just happens to be right in my face, and I have a big cannon on my back. So we're going to fire the ZF-4. It's at 2 charges, because my heat got cleared from losing a stress.
You got it.
I'm not going to use the leadership die on this one. So my weapon's already accurate, so...
Sounds good.
I rolled an
said
11.
Remaining bombers, so either one. Sorry, you rolled an 11. Hit.
Which hits, and since this is the first attack that hit this round, it takes an additional 1d6 and 2 heat.
Yeah, that is enough to destroy that bomber.
Nice.
Then I'm going to turn around, target the other bomber, and fire my heavy pattern laser rifle. And this one, I will use the accuracy from the die. I crit.
Nice.
For 9 plus 3 plus 6, so that's what, 18?
Yeah, that completely incinerates the final bomber.
Excellent.
With that, you get a call. It's just over open comms to COMET. And it says, Big Bird, come in. This is PAL 1.
Big Bird here.
Eyeball reporting, no more incoming.
Thank God for that.
Thanks for the escort.
All right, stay safe.
We'll see you back at base.
Copy that.
Now, you can either ride with this convoy back to its destination, where they are going to drop off some stuff on behalf of your employer, or you can wait here and call up the DBC to come pick you up if you want to get back to the DBC or go somewhere else. That is up to you.
I mean, if we're trying to be... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. Sorry.
If we're trying to come across as competent employees, it might make more sense just to guard the ships on the rest of the way. It looks better on us, but I'm also fine with just bailing.
Yeah, I mean, unless anyone wants to object, Astro's going to basically make the executive decision to you guys and say, let's keep with the ships just in case there's someone else out there we missed. And then we'll return to the DBC. Sound good?
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll just have the DBC pick us up at the supply ships drop-off location or nearby, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good. Not that it matters, but I'm also clearing my heat in case something happens between now and then.
Yeah, totally.
Baby heat.
You are able to load back into this light-weighted convoy that cleared out a significant amount of their cargo to make space to ferry the three of you secretly along with them as an ambush squad. You are able to, each of you, pile back into the cargo bays of the three of these ships as they head towards their destination. As you pull in, they pull into the landing bays. They do kind of like park right next to each other and lower the back ramps so that the three of you can dismount. Pal 1, who is the leader of the convoy, will get out and come over to meet with Astro, or Xander, as he knows him.
Yes.
You see this very like athletic looking person in like a pilot's uniform with like a full helmet on, you know, kind of looks like the kind of outfit that like a racing driver would wear, right? Like a full like, you know, neoprene-ish looking outfit that's like fire retardant and stuff, with one of those like hard helmets on with like a glass visor going across the center. Comes over to you, takes off his helmet. He has like very long, luscious black hair. Does the like hair commercial thing where he like
hair flip.
You know, hair flips back and forth to get rid of his helmet hair. As he comes over, he puts his helmet under his arm, and he comes up and he goes, "Oh boy, wow, am I glad you guys were there." He holds out his arm. "Nice to meet you, Forvian Crow."
Forvian Crow. Xander Nova.
Haha, nice name. Do you shake his hand?
It's the only one my mother gave me, and I shake his hand.
Whew. Man, when Tessie told me that you know, they were looking for a group to ferry an ambush squad out there, I was the first one to volunteer. Man, I have watched too many of my friends get taken down by these guys. You guys have any leads on where they're coming from yet?
Well, we're looking into it. But they're using some strange technology. I don't know if you got a look at some of those missiles they were launching at you, but they weren't quite congruent with the bombers that they were piloting.
Yeah, it's some messy shit. I don't know. Normally, if we had a bunch of those kinds of ships out there with us, we just run like a normal little fighter escort or something like that, and we'd be able to chase them off. I'd fly circles around them, but man.
Yeah, something makes me think whatever this group is, they have a patron with a lot of money or a lot of experimental tech.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for keeping me and mine alive. If you ever need anything, get in touch.
Pleasure doing business with you, sir.
You too. Stay safe. He turns around and walks away, but as he's like midway back, he like looks back over his shoulder and like flashes you the peace sign over his shoulder before he climbs back up into the cockpit of his ship.
I'll give him a little like 2-finger salute.
All right, the three of you assemble. What do you do from here?
Just like, well, that was some close calls. Boy, we could really use Steve right about now.
Yeah, he would have been great in that last battle.
And you, Evelene, you could use even a measly pistol.
Oh yeah. Let's.
What was that?
Let's fit on all the other stuff I got on, and I'll just do a big grandiose, open my arms, like, oh, look how much crap's on my neck. Where are we gonna put it?
What was that with you going right up to missile and drilling it? Do you have a death wish?
I mean, I work for you.
Listen, I don't want you dying on me.
Look,
we have enough problems as is.
I ran out of things to throw at the missile. I feel like this is like self-explanatory.
All I'm saying is you got to be more careful.
I got armor. That's the whole point of it.
I don't like it.
If I'm not using the armor, why do I even have it? Like, look at these spikes. If I don't use the spikes, what good are they?
You don't want to use the armor. The armor is a preventative. Can't talk. Preventative measure.
Look, everything's fine. I know how to take care of myself. Yes, out of context. I mean, out of character, yes, that is a red flag for Evelene to die in the future, yes.
Next, you're going to be looking at family photos and your old sweetheart.
Yeah, just you wait.
Astro said I could retire next year.
One last mission.
Next time Evelene tries to, drill a missile, ends up being a nuke.
Oh my god, yeah.
Listen, just try to cut down on the heroics a little bit if you can. We need you.
All right, sure. I will be more careful, Xander.
All right, well, let's call up the DBC, get back on the ship.
Yeah, I could do with some repairs. Trying to cover that that lower quadrant by myself was rather tough.
Yeah, how are you holding up? You got pretty banged up.
I mean, physically the mech took no damage. Reactor's a different story.
Well,
yeah.
At least we saved the ships we were escorting. Any damage we took, we can repair, theoretically.
All right. So you guys are going to head back to the DBC then, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. As you head back to the DBC meets you here at the hangar. You see as the three ships that have significantly reduced cargo because they were hauling you guys around. They do start offloading. They still was some valuable cargo on there. But you guys are able to load back into the DBC. As soon as you are on board, Astro, you get a notification that Ethic is trying to contact you.
Perfect timing. Let's take the message up on the bridge.
All right. You head up to the bridge. Jessica is already there in the ops station. She was the one who piloted the ship here. She is like, Captain, everyone, looks like you made it back okay. How was the mission?
Just by the skin of our teeth, but we were able to carry it out.
All right. Well, I do have Ethic on the line. Do you want me to bring her over?
Yeah, patch her through, please.
All right. Ethic comes on screen, on the main screen turn on. Ethic goes, good, I caught you. I have heard a good report from your escort unit. Anything you want to report?
Well, yeah, it was tough, a lot tougher than I was expecting it to be. Those bombers, they were using some experimental missiles or some strange tech.
Bombers? They weren't bombers. They were glued together cargo ships that have ordnance that we wouldn't expect. I don't know where they're getting these things.
Yeah, who's their supplier?
If I knew that, things would be a lot easier.
Maybe we could poke around and see what we can find out on our end.
Actually, that's part of what I wanted to talk to you about. Along with the glowing review Forvian gave you. Apparently you saved all three ships despite incredible odds.
What can I say? He flashes his best movie star grin at her.
One of the best ways to deal with missiles is, toss the ships right into their own missiles. It worked pretty well for us.
Failing that, drill the missiles.
One time.
I'm not going to question your methods. If it works, it works. I'm just happy you're getting results. Forvian seemed impressed. He's one of my best pilots.
Yeah, good to hear. I met him. Nice guy.
Good. I will say, I do have some good news for you. Over these past few weeks, and with successful missions like this I can put on the books, I believe I have enough leeway that I can start risking more investigation into Project Rebirth. I'm going to officially put you all on leave for a short period of time. When we start picking back up after this leave, I will see if I have any leads that I can have you look into. It's time to start doing what we came here to do.
All right, that's what I want to hear.
While you're on this downtime, I would encourage you to follow up on any own ideas that you have. I have a few things to follow up within Project Rebirth, but it sounds like you have a few things that you might have ideas for as well. If you find anything of import or have anything that comes up that you need my resources for or you need an allocation for, let me know. But I will be busy trying to figure out where to send you. There's a lot going on here right now, but there has to be a crack somewhere, and hopefully we can get a knife in there and wedge this whole thing open.
I know we can find it.
All right.
And with your investigative skills and our can-do attitudes, I think we'll make a winning team.
That is an odd way to phrase that, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, we'll be at your disposal, and if we hear anything, we will let you know.
Good to hear. I will be in contact with you as soon as I found something. In the meantime, you have full access to the entire station, anywhere you want to go in E2705. I would just recommend doing your research ahead of time and perhaps keeping some of your affiliations close to the chest. There are a lot of people who are not fans for people who are pretending to be flunkies of Project Rebirth right now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
As those missiles, I'm sure, informed you.
Yeah, that was a giveaway, I have to admit.
Well, you'll be able to shed these false flags soon enough. We'll talk soon.
All right. Stay safe, Effic.
Effic out. Screen off.
All right. Well, crew, looks like we are finally going to execute on our main mission. This is what I've been looking forward to.
So,
figuring out what Project Rebirth is.
Yeah, how do we do that, actually?
Well, we wait for whatever lead Effic can get us, and if she has somewhere to direct us, we'll carry it out. In the meantime, I want us to do our own research if we can. I have some ideas of maybe some networks I can look into. Perhaps I could poke around, see what kind of information I could come up with.
I guess I could try mingling with the some of the crews in the area. I mean, just say we're getting supplies and just maybe just check a conversation, see where that leads. Get word on the street.
Just be careful with the crowds, because you are very much an outsider.
True.
But Evelene, she's a salt of the earth type. I'm sure you'll fit in well. Give you a pat on the back.
I will allow this.
And with that, with you having some leads to follow up on and having successfully completed the mission, which honestly took much longer than I expected, we're going to go ahead and call this episode here. We will pick up with the beginnings of these investigations and wake up our buddy Steve and let him know that he is still welcome here to play with us. I'm very sorry, Steve. We will see you next episode, I guess.
I literally am sitting here with popcorn just watching and listening.
All right, well, we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.